Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, for those of you joining for the first time today. Guys, it's Friday. That means the weekend's coming up. It's time to go out there and just spend some time with your friends and family and do something you enjoy doing. Watch football, play football, whatever you got to do, go do it. I am going tonight to watch Dumb Money. I suggest you all go watch Dumb Money also, and let's talk about it soon, guys. I'm going to make a video about it tomorrow, giving you my opinion about it. I cannot wait to see how they portray Ken Griffin, Mayo Boy, in that movie, because of how he felt he was portrayed is the bad way. We all know it is the truth. If he looks bad to himself in that movie, it's because they made him look like who he is. And I cannot wait to see it and talk to you guys about it and go from there. Guys, if you want to see what I think about it, subscribe to the channel and we'll talk about it tomorrow. All right? And then we'll talk about it again on a live stream maybe next weekend. All right? Like I told you guys in my last video, I am going to be on vacation with my family this next week. And I will probably not make a video. I'm going to just try to really spend some time just hanging out with my kids, hanging out with my wife, and just enjoying some actual relaxation, all right? Somebody mentioned that I need to stop going out of town. Well, the last trip that I took was a business trip, so I didn't really get to relax, so I'm looking forward to doing that this time. I will say it again, and I cannot believe I continue to keep saying this. I am working on getting a microphone. I hope to have one by next weekend, but we'll see what happens, all right? So if you want to comment about the sound, comment about the sound. I'll ignore it, or I'll tell you the same thing I tell you every single time. I'm working on it. Guys, one of the things that I do want to talk about is last week in my last video I mentioned, the short interest and how it's still coming up a little bit, right? It's still a lot lower than we've seen it in the past. But to me, it doesn't mean anything because it's all self-reported data. Somebody mentioned in a comment that, well, other data points suggest that, that the short interest being low makes sense. Well, when every data point is self-reported or data points are created based on what the short interest is, which is self-reported, you can't go off of other data points to say that things are looking good for short sellers, that they're not in a bad position. It just doesn't make sense, okay? Short interest being self-reported dictates how other things happen, right? Days to cover is one of those numbers, right? So according to Fintel, right now it's 1.4 days to cover based on a 14.04% short interest. Well, guys, if that self-reported short interest is low, of course the days to cover are going to be low. It just makes sense. They want you to feel that they've covered a lot of their positions, and that's what drove the short interest down. I 100% don't believe that. I don't believe that that's what happened, and I say it all the time. I'm going to continue to say it, guys. One of the things also I'm looking at Fintel, looking at Stock-Sarah, looking at Market Beat, all of these different places, okay, that you can look at a bunch of different places. So like if you're going to say I'm only looking at one piece of data, I'm looking at a bunch of them. I'm looking at a bunch of different places. Guys, 54% of shares traded were in the dark pool, okay, yesterday. So I don't have today's data yet. I canceled my Ortex subscription, so I don't have that data, that more like up-to-date data. I don't think I need it, all right? Guys, we're still in a good position. Shorts have not covered. They didn't do it, okay? I'm surprised that they drove the price down to $7.99 today. There was only 15,000 more call options in the money if they would have got it up to $8 today. And max pain was $8 today, so it would have made sense for them to do that for like their point, but whatever. $7.99, $8, it doesn't matter. It's a discount, all right? Go out and buy more stock. Buy it and hold it. Keep it. Grow it. You know what to do. We've been doing this a long time. Keep up the good work, guys. All right. I'm going to touch on this another time because I was looking things up today, and it's one of the things that I wanted to talk about because people keep talking about debt, okay, and how bad debt is for AMC. Guys, right now, AMC's debt is $9.51 billion according to Yahoo Finance, okay, with revenue coming in at $4.26 billion. Now, obvious, and then total cash is $435 million, right? Like, there's a lot of numbers being thrown out here, so I'm not trying to, like, confuse you, but I'm also not trying to get too detailed. I'm just throwing out some of these numbers to show you guys why I don't worry about debt in a company, all right? Debt is not always bad. Guys, Amazon, okay? Their revenue is huge, right? Their revenue is huge. It's in a different place. Amazon completely thrived when it came during COVID, when you could not go to the store, when you could not go anywhere during COVID. What did you do? You bought everything on Amazon. You bought toilet paper on Amazon. You bought food. You bought whatever you could buy on Amazon was bought on Amazon, and that hasn't slowed down. People got used to doing it. People were already getting used to doing it before COVID, and so they continued it, right? So the revenue in Amazon is a massive number. We all know that. We don't have to say it, but it's $538 billion, okay? Crazy. Amazon's total cash, $63.97 billion, okay? These are all very large numbers. Well, their debt is also a very large number. Amazon carries $174.29 billion in debt, okay? If a company like Amazon can have that much debt and be good, why can't AMC have $9 billion in debt with growing fundamentals and why, like, I just don't get it, right? Like, I just don't get why people continue to say that the debt is bad, okay? Yes, the debt looked really, really bad when AMC was not making money, when AMC's fundamentals were not there, okay? But that all got changed when big movies came out, when they started making money, when the management was making good decisions on what to do with theaters, whether it was closing down theaters or the right ones to open up that were going to make more money. Guys, the management did a good job in turning that around, taking COVID that almost killed it to turning it into something that is now profitable again after, like going back into pre-COVID days when it was profitable. It is getting to that point again, and it's constantly getting better. It got to that point again, and now it's continuing to get better. I know I mentioned this the other day. Writer strike is over. We're going to start seeing some better, awesome movies that are going to be coming out that's just going to continue to drive that number up. I won't stop mentioning it, even though some of you even though some of you don't like Taylor Swift. Great. She's going to bring a lot of money. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of exposure brought to AMC. I don't care what the dollar amount is that only her concert is bringing. I care about the fact that she is going to open that door up for other people, okay? We've talked about it. All I'm trying to say, guys, is don't let these people on social media get into your heads by saying, oh, well, AMC's got too much debt to ever survive. They're going to go bankrupt. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Guys, it's not going to happen, okay? That's not happening. That's not happening in this world or the next. Where we're at right now is a very solid point, all right? AMC is looking really good, and it's only going to get better. It is only going to get better from here, and there's no doubt about that. Not one doubt about that in my mind. The other thing that there is no doubt about in my mind is the squeeze. Guys, 54% in dark pools. They're still trying to suppress what you're doing. They're trying to suppress what the apes are doing, and don't let them get in your heads, right? They can suppress the price all they want. I don't care what the price says. I don't care that it says it's $7.99. What I care about is that these numbers that are showing that they're still afraid, that hedge funds still have nowhere to go except for to dig their hole deeper, kick their can down the road, and try to get in your heads and make you feel like you're in a losing play, okay? Guys, there's enough of that going on in this world, so we got, another, 24-ish, 30-something hours until the government shuts down, right? And my math is probably way off on that. It's been a long week, and it's the end of the day, so my math is probably off, but we're getting really close to that government shutdown that's coming on October 1st. I don't think there's any way that they're going to pull this out at the last minute, because this one's different than the last one, right? This isn't a debt ceiling conversation. This is a budget conversation. So this kind of thing happens all the time. It's nothing new, but it does have big effects. It can have big effects on a lot of things that are going on. The last time the government shut down in a position like this, they were not worried about, I mean, they're always worried about seeing the data, but if the government shuts down, it slows down the data collection for the Fed to use to know what to do with interest rates. We know that the Fed has been making mistakes throughout all this time in how much or how fast or how little or what they say when it comes to interest rates. They think they're doing a good, they think that they're doing the best job that they can, and maybe they are. I'm not in the Fed. I'm not at that level. I'm not going to pretend to be. I definitely think that they did not go fast enough in some of their rate hikes in the beginning of it to really get a handle on this. But that being said, right now is an important time for them, and more importantly, it's an important time for other analysts to know what's going on to determine how to price in the market, right? Well, if the government shuts down and they can't get this data, and it takes a longer time to get this data, they don't know how to properly price in the market. And so there's a chance we'll see some volatility in the middle of end of October when they finally get all this figured out. There's a lot of other theories going on around there about the shutdown. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, I'm here for the squeeze play. I'm here to continue down this road with you guys. I know that the squeeze is coming. You know that the squeeze is coming. If you don't think that the squeeze is coming, give me a real reason why. I'll say it every single video if I have to. Give me a real reason why. Stop telling me that I'm wrong. Stop telling me that it's dead, because that's just regurgitating information. I want you to tell me why. All right? If I can look at numbers and I can say, here's why I think it happens, you should be able to do the same thing, and I encourage you to do so we can have a real conversation. I'm not necessarily trying to change your mind, but I'm not going to let you change mine either, because it doesn't make sense to me why they're still suppressing the stock, why they're still manipulating the stock if it's not going to happen at some point. Yes, it will take some sort of catalyst for it to kick off, and we've talked about some of those. Maybe we'll talk about them again. I don't know. But I don't think it's dead. I don't see how it's dead. I don't think that there's anything in the world that you could say to me that would make me feel that, and none of you have. So far, nobody that's commented on my videos saying that the squeeze play is dead has said anything that makes any sense, because all you do is just repeat the same thing, or you tell me to Google something, and Googling doesn't mean anything. Show me some real data, show me something real, and I'll look at it, and maybe I'll change my mind. But again, I'm looking at the same data you are, right? Like, I have access to all the same stuff you do. So I don't think it's going to happen. Guys, we got this, all right? Stay positive, stay motivated, stay motivating. I'll see you guys later. Bye.